Kira and Vin are the closest ones to develop something like the eco grid, because like it's a huge thing, and the wall system. Great invention. I don't think Jak would be able to invent it. Yeah, hello. I'm just a guy, and I contacted Xenobite about my theory, and he decided it was interesting enough to be on the show and immortalized on the YouTubes.
Right, yeah, so...
my theory is like an anti-theory, because I'm trying to understand what the developers' intentions were instead of like invent my own explanation. So my anti-theory is that Jak was originally supposed to be his own ancestor with more time travel, but Naughty Dog decided against it. And I think they decided against it because there are some inconsistencies with that approach. There are certain contradictions, and I would just list them out if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
No, go for it. Go for it.
So problem number one is that Mar, even though there is enough known about him from the games, there are certain things that are concrete. Number one, he is a leader. He's a great leader. He led the people and united them against the enemy. So Jak exhibited, like, I would say, zero leadership skills in the games. Jak's talents are, he's a brave soldier, he's a brave fighter, he is a great racer, and he has the ability to channel eco. So he is unique in that way. However, he's not a leader, he never led anyone. And by the end of Jak 3, I believe he's about 20. And I don't think someone who has no, built-in leadership abilities could just somehow develop into a great leader. Yeah, so, that's one inconsistency. The second one is Mar's second accomplishment was that he was an inventor. He invented the eco-grid, or as I like to call it, electricity in everyone's home. So eco transferred to electricity, transferred to everyone being happy. So he made that system. Jak never really invented anything, except for probably, well, he never invented anything, but he probably modded his own car. So
I think Kira would have done that, in fairness.
Yeah. So of all the characters with, probably Vin, closest ones to develop something like the eco grid, because like it's a huge thing, and the wall system, which never actually seen in the games, like the wall, the Heaven City wall. What is it? It's like we never saw it, but it's like force field or something. Great invention. I don't think Jak would be able to invent it because he has no real inventing skills, and so that's just the two inconsistencies. Anything else, it could have happened, but and the end of Jak 3 is kind of ambiguous. Again, I think they chose not to go there for the reasons I listed. Maybe they wanted to make more games like Jak 2 or 3 later, and didn't want like Jak Space Adventures without Daxter.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are just the biggest inconsistencies. If that did not exist, maybe, who knows?
One thing about
But
the second inconsistency you have
Mhm.
is I kind of think that Dwayne. I don't think like Mar would have built the city by himself. I think he would have had a lot of help. It's like say he would have
Yeah,
like had friends to
sure,
help him
of
build all
course,
this stuff. So
of
maybe
course.
he's like ordering them to build
Yeah,
this and build this and build that. So that probably would put that theory to rest, maybe. But then again, Jack didn't have
Um,
leadership skills, so
yeah. What I'm
I
saying
think
is,
I.
sorry,
Oh,
Vin said
oh,
that Mar was quote unquote the genius who invented the eco grid and the shield. So he may have not built the system by himself with his own hands, 24/7, but again, he invented that according to like what the people know. So as long as that is not like retconned, so far that's quote unquote canon. So Mar invented those things, and Jack hasn't invented really anything in the game
very
so
good
far.
points. Yeah, very good points.
Oh, hello, kitty. I have a cat.
So Nick, were you saying something there?
right. And I had something to. Oh yeah, the people. That's right. Well, how you were talking about how he didn't make everything with his own hands. Probably had helpers and shit. I think I know who helped him. I think I know like who,
I
like
think we all know.
exactly who. Sandover. People of Sandover Village.
Really, I was thinking about the precursors. I mean, if Naughty Dog really wanted to go with Jak is Mar, they would probably have the precursors doing everything, and I don't know, saying to the people that Jak did it.
With my with my theory, I kind of believe that Mar has precursor origins because he's so much smarter than everybody else.
Well,
you know,
you don't need to be a superhuman to be a great leader and great inventor. Again, it was never mentioned that
course
Mar
not.
is a great fighter. Mar could have been a terrible fighter and a terrible racer and not a very good not a very good drawer.
very brave.
He probably draws
Not
very
very-
terribly. But if you have just two skills, inventor and leader, you can pull it off if you live to be 50.
Well, I mean, think about it. Kira built a fucking something that could hover on the ground in a time period that would see that as a laughable joke. You know, she
Yeah.
invented the Zoomer
Yeah.
years before its conception.
Yeah. So the thing with Kira is that from her very introduction, we see that she has talents with building. So it's not like she never built anything and then one day she built something. It doesn't imply that she been a mechanic all her life. So yeah, it's plausible.
Very much so.
Also, Kira is Coco 2.0.
That's I actually thought that like when I first played the game. When I was a kid, I was like,
Coco.
I went from just playing Crash Bandicoot. I was like, this is the exact same as Crash Bandicoot. Look, there's fucking plants there. We have, hey, Samus looks like Cortex. He has something on his head. Oh, look, it's Coco. It's Jack's sister.
Is it bad that when you said Coco 2.0 that I thought of Ice-T's wife?
You know what's really funny? When I hear Coco, all I can think was a track by Stuart Copeland. I'm weird like that.
Don't worry, we all have our weird traits.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, I think we should.
Anyways,
I'm trying to think of questions to ask you, but
Ask anything. I know nothing because I don't work for Naughty Dog.
or maybe he does.
he is a non-Naughty Dog spokesperson.
Look, can you think of any questions while I brain fart here?
Questions. Let's see. Okay, what I want to know, what is your solid proof? What is your solid proof that Mar is absolutely, completely unrelated or doesn't have a connection to him actually being Mar?
Well, that is a very, very good question because it reminds me of several systems of court. Like one is you're proven innocent, guilty until proven innocent, or innocent until proven guilty. So Jak 3 ends ambiguously. So there is nothing in the games that say that Jak is not his own ancestor. But since Jak does not go with the precursors and stays, there is nothing really to confirm that he is, because, well, he was named after the founder of the royal line, and that's pretty much it. If he was named like Joe instead of I don't know, if he was named something else, there will be like no reason for us to think that he's Mar. I think the whole he was named after Mar was like left from the original plans with Naughty Dog, because I watched the commentary to all the cutscenes, and they wanted Jak to leave and have like adventures in space and maybe grow up, I don't know, to be 300 years old or I don't know. But they chose not to do it, to leave Jak with Daxter, maybe to make more games, I don't know, maybe because they, again, noted the two inconsistencies that I mentioned, because I have respect for Naughty Dog writers. I think they're smarter than, like, not smart. So perhaps one was the inconsistencies, and two was that if you have Jak leave, you cannot make more games because it'll be completely different and we'll have no Daxter. So it'll be like the adventure of an inspiring leader. It will probably be RTS.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, because like Naughty Dog did want to make more Jak games. They were making The Lost Frontier before they had to go to and work on Uncharted.
I actually wished that they kind of, I don't know, maybe Sony asked them to make it for PSP. I kind of wished it was like their last game for the PS2, because PS2 was always more powerful than the PSP. They already knew how to use it.
The thing about that is like Sony asking Naughty Dog to make a PSP Jak and Daxter, which they started doing, but the Uncharted was like having a lot of trouble in development, so everyone had to be migrated over to Uncharted, and they left
Okay. So did Sony ask them to do it for the PSP?
They did, and they were in the middle of doing it, but they didn't have
enough. Oh, okay. But so they were asked.
Yes.
Okay. So
actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure if they're asked. I'm not sure if they were doing it. Like, I'm sure Sony pushed them to do it for the PSP.
It's known that they were working on it for some time.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, Nick, do you have anything else to add? Nick?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I've just kind of been listening to what he's been having to say, and I'm kind of molding, because my theory is ever changing. It's an ever changing theory, and I'm kind of molding to Andrew's how his works, and his does make a lot of sense. It's short and sweet, but it makes a lot of sense. It gets really inside of the characters, inside their heads and how they work, and it's good. It's fucking amazing. I don't know why.
Actually, you made it sound better than it was.
Very hard on yourself.
Don't be so modest. It was a good theory. It really was, Andrew.
Okay, I guess it was.
Yeah, it's you brought a point that I haven't heard anyone say. Okay.
Well,
you brought a point to where
I think because it's not a theory, but I think that when it comes to fictional worlds that have lots of world building and lore, people look to the future most of the time when they try to, I don't know, see what's next, but they don't exactly look back to the past.
Very true. Yeah, I'll end this here. Thanks very much for your theory. It was great, and I'll end the recording.
Well,
it was really
thank
good.
you. Now I will be immortalized.
All right. Thanks for watching, and good luck. So I like that. I like the way this is a bit shorter than the others, because I think we're gonna have a few long ones later.
Actually, I have a few things to say about The Lost Frontier. We were talking about it before recording. Mind you hear them again?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so most people's problems with The Lost Frontier were not the same as I did. My biggest problems are, one, the controls. They took away the moves, but that can be tolerable. Two, the story. While I do like it, there's a point when the pirates stop being your enemy and become allies, and that point is like really glossed over. There were like 1.5 cutscenes explaining that. So if you don't think too much about it, you were like, wait, why are the Europans evil? We weren't exactly told. And so if we had like one mission or one more cutscene explaining why the Europans are suddenly evil, the story would be it'll be better. And if they either take away Jak Daxter or make it better, even with the controls, even with the missing moves, I think the game will be much better.
Yeah, the thing is, like, most of the pre-production work is already done on that by Naughty Dog anyway, and I think the reason most people are really mad at High Impact for making that game is because, like, they were handed like something on a silver platter, and in other people's minds, not mine. I don't think they completely wrecked it. I just think the game is not up to par for the other Jak games.
Yeah, but, actually, there's one thing I need to mention. Have any of you played it on the PSP first?
I played it on PSP emulator, so it's.
Okay, have you ever experienced camera slowdowns? Like when you turn the camera around, everything slows down?
Yes, actually. I do remember that.
Me too!
I was doing a stream of that and I remember
Either it is in all versions of the original release, I don't know if there's like the greatest hits version, or it is in every PSP version. Because I bought the PS2 version in case it doesn't have it, and it doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I played it like till the middle. I need to finish it someday. But I played this game twice already, so that can wait, I guess.
Yeah. I like that.
Also,
okay.
One little thing. What I don't understand is why was the soundtrack pulled from iTunes? What's the point?
They pulled the soundtrack from iTunes?
Yes, it's no longer there. Yep. People voted it high because, like, the music is good, but it's no longer there. I think you can only get it on Amazon. And if you want to get the iTunes version, well, there are ways, but
I'll just download it from YouTube if I ever want it.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say, even though I still have my PS2, I have plans on installing Linux on my MacBook. If it's successful, I will get the PS2 emulator because it's for Windows and it was ported to Linux and it was ported to Mac, but the Mac version is like 4 years old now, and I think it's probably broken by this point. So the Linux the Linux and Windows versions are the latest and greatest. So I will try to emulate Jak 2 and 3. It'll probably be filled with pain and disappointment, but I will keep trying no matter what.
Playing the Jak games on emulator is not the way to play the Jak games. Just telling you.
Well, there are videos on YouTube of people managing to do it.
Yeah, but it's
the only problem left is like the shadows.
It's just the Jak games were like the most. They were like the most complex games made on PS2 because they manipulated the PS2 in so many weird ways that no other developers.
Yeah, but you know the thing about coding and programs, it's like Sherlock Holmes said. If one man devised the mystery, another man can solve it. So the same is code. If there is like a problem, how do I make this software do this?
Yeah.
The solution always exists.
Mm-hmm.
So it could theoretically be fixed.
Oh yeah,
no matter what it is.
Absolutely. I mean, people can do amazing